My name is Rachel Pearce and I'm a tax partner at Carpenter Box. The 2023 autumn statement was delivered on Wednesday this week, and for a change, there were relatively few tax changes that will impact the construction and real estate sector. The Chancellor announced that the full expensing of plant and machinery will be extended. Full expensing basically means that developers will continue to get full tax relief in the year that they purchase plant and machinery, allowing companies to reduce their tax by up to 25p for every £1 spent. This relief was originally introduced from April this year, in April 2023, and it was only supposed to be introduced for 3 years, ending in 2026. But the change that was made this week means that full expensing will now be permanent. This is great news, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it can't be changed again in the future. And indeed, the limits relating to tax-efficient investment in plant and machinery have changed a lot over the last 10 years or so. And some changes to CIS, the Construction Industry Scheme, were also announced this week. And the main purpose of these changes is to try and encourage compliance by subcontractors, mainly with their VAT requirements. Another change introduced for CIS is that payments from landlords to tenants will be outside the scope of CIS on most occasions. And speaking of landlords, in keeping with the theme of recent years, there weren't any changes announced that might be helpful to property investors, but there also weren't any changes that should really impact investors and property landlords full stop. And this is, of course, quite disappointing news for many who were hoping for measures to encourage a boost to the number of properties available for rent. It had been anticipated there would be some stamp duty land tax measures introduced, particularly following a government consultation that happened last year in 2022. However, no changes have been made to stamp duty land tax at this time. And in other news, aside from tax measures, the Chancellor has announced plans to reform the planning system with the aim of speeding up the process. This will be a great help to many in the sector if it proves successful, and a positive transformation in this area may be of even greater value than tax changes at this stage.